Have you ever felt lost? As if the world around you was crumbling and no one knew the way forward? In the long story of humanity, there have been times of great uncertainty, moments when nations stood at a crossroads. During these times, certain voices rose up. They were clear, they were powerful, and they spoke words that were often difficult to hear. These were the voices of the prophets. Today, we will explore 5 of these monumental figures: Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, and the sorrowful songs of Lamentations. They are called the major prophets, not because they were more important, but because their messages were recorded in great detail, preserved for generations. Our journey begins with Isaiah, a prophet whose name means "the Lord is salvation." He lived in a time of political upheaval and moral decay, as the kingdom of Judah teetered on the brink of disaster. Isaiah's call to be a prophet was dramatic. He had a vision of God, seated on a throne, high and lifted up. The sheer holiness and glory he witnessed left him feeling undone, acutely aware of the deep sinfulness of himself and his people. This powerful encounter with God's purity became the foundation of his entire message. He understood that God is holy, and because he is holy, he must judge the injustice and rebellion he saw in the world. Isaiah's message was a tale of 2 realities. On one hand, he delivered stark warnings to the kings and people of Judah. He condemned their empty religious rituals, their oppression of the poor, and their foolish reliance on military alliances instead of on God. He spoke of a coming day of reckoning, a fire that would purify the land and remove all that was corrupt. Yet Isaiah offered some of the most beautiful words in Scripture, a watchman pleading in love. He painted a peaceful kingdom where the wolf lies down with the lamb. Next, we meet Jeremiah, the weeping prophet. His life was marked by profound sorrow because his heart broke for his people. He began his ministry as a young man and prophesied in the final chaotic years of Judah. He witnessed the destruction of Jerusalem and the temple by the Babylonian army. His task was one of the hardest. Tell his people their city would fall, and they would be exiled because of persistent rebellion against God. Jeremiah's message was deeply unpopular. Kings, priests, false prophets, they wanted peace and security. But Jeremiah spoke only the truth God gave him. He pleaded, "Surrender to the Babylonians. God's ordained judgment now unavoidable." For this, he was branded a traitor, beaten, thrown into a muddy cistern, publicly shamed. He felt isolated, deeply grieved, rejected by people he loved. Yet woven into warnings was a message of hope. He told the exiles, "Your captivity will not be permanent. Build houses, plant gardens, pray for the peace of your city. After 70 years, God would bring you home." The most profound promise, a new covenant, no longer written on tablets of stone, but written on the hearts of God's people. Personal, intimate, transformative. Jeremiah 29:11. "For I know the plans I have for you, to give you a future and a hope." Even God's judgment leads to loving restoration. Now we turn to Ezekiel, a priest, taken into exile in Babylon with many of his countrymen, ministering by the rivers of Babylon. His breathtaking first vision of God's glory appears not in the temple, but among the exiles. Ezekiel became a performance artist for God, building a siege model, lying on his side, shaving and scattering hair, signs to shock sleepy hearts awake. One vision stands above all, a valley of dry bones, old, bleached, completely lifeless. God asks, "Son of man, can these bones live?" Ezekiel speaks, a rattling sound, bones coming together, sinews and flesh appear, skin covers them, but no life, until he prophesies to the breath and the Spirit fills them. They stand, a vast army. For a hopeless nation, this is resurrection hope. Ezekiel 36:26. "I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh." This is deep, internal renewal, a work only God can perform. God's power is not limited by geography or circumstance. He brings complete restoration and new life to what seems utterly dead. A sovereign God, a sure renewal. Our final prophet is Daniel, a story of courage in a hostile empire. A young nobleman, taken in the first wave of exiles, chosen to serve in the court of King Nebuchadnezzar. The book divides into unforgettable stories and apocalyptic visions. Daniel and friends refuse the king's rich food. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. They will not bow to a golden image. They are thrown into a blazing furnace, and a divine figure walks with them in the fire. Later, Daniel defies a decree that forbids prayer. He is thrown into a den of lions, but an angel shuts their mouths, and he is saved. These stories teach integrity, quiet courage, and God's presence in furnaces and dens. Daniel's visions show empires rising and falling, rulers humbled before God. Then one like a son of man comes with the clouds of heaven, receives authority from the Ancient of Days. Daniel 7:14. His dominion is everlasting. His kingdom shall never be destroyed. Human empires are temporary. God's kingdom will triumph forever. Faithfulness amid pressure, sovereignty above all. This is courage anchored in a king who reigns without end. Looking back at Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel, a pattern emerges. A grand narrative moves from sin to judgment to glorious restoration. Sin, judgment, restoration. Not a cycle of despair, but a purposeful path to hope. Prophets were not fortune tellers. They revealed God's character and commitment. Isaiah's refining fire, Jeremiah's tears, Ezekiel's signs, Daniel's falling empires, one voice. Sin has consequences. Turning from God, embracing injustice, worshiping idols leads to exile. The warning is loving, meant to steer us from destruction, but judgment is never the final word. Return, renewal, a new heart. Isaiah's suffering servant and Prince of Peace, Jeremiah's new covenant written on the heart, Ezekiel's bones revived by God's breath, Daniel's everlasting kingdom that outlasts every empire. God is perfectly just and endlessly merciful. He will not ignore sin, yet his discipline is purposeful, to correct and purify. His plan moves toward healing and renewal, toward the final victory of his good and loving purposes for the world. These words do not belong only to the past, they echo with relevance today. Injustice, idolatry, and the temptation to trust human power remain with us. The call for righteousness and care for the vulnerable is as urgent as ever. They challenge our societies, our communities, and our hearts. Do we reflect God's character? Daniel and his friends show integrity when culture pressures us to conform. Faithfulness is quiet courage, and trust in God's protection. Jeremiah teaches us to pray for the welfare of our cities, even when they feel foreign. Be a blessing. Build, plant, seek peace right where you are. Lamentations gives permission to grieve and question without losing faith. Be heartbroken over the world, yet hold hope for the future. A mature faith confronts suffering, processes it before God, and anchors in his character. Daniel assures us, history is not random. God reigns over nations and rulers. Ezekiel's new heart shows real change is possible by God's work within us. Lift your eyes from present troubles to God's coming kingdom. In the end, these 5 books, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, and Daniel, are a testament to God's holiness and grace. He takes sin seriously, yet overflows with compassion and faithfulness. He warns before he judges and promises restoration even in exile. Isaiah's child, Jeremiah's covenant, Ezekiel's breath of life, Daniel's everlasting kingdom, all find fulfillment in Jesus Christ. He embodies the new covenant, brings spiritual resurrection, and reigns forever. These words give us a firm foundation. Be humble, listen when God speaks, turn back when you stray. Live with courage and integrity. Hold a resilient hope not based on circumstances, but on God's unchanging character and unbreakable promises. No matter how dark the night, He has promised a new dawn. Read these powerful books with open hearts. Let their warnings challenge you, and their promises comfort you. They spoke difficult truths for difficult times, but their final word is triumphant hope. Our broken world is not forgotten. God is redeeming and restoring. He will make all things new. And that is the best truth of all.